Okay, so if we've got a right angle triangle and we are working with an angle, so either we have an angle or we're being asked to work out an angle, then we want to use trigonometry. If it's only sides we're working with, so we don't have an angle and we are not being asked to work out an angle, then we would use Pythagoras. So for this question, if I had to work out the length of either that side or that side, I've got a side here and an angle. So I'm working with angles and sides. So I'm using trigonometry. With trigonometry, you would have been taught this SOHCAHTOA stuff. So SOHCAH, the way to use these, if you take the middle letter and you of each thing and you raise it up like that, then you can make formula triangles out of them. So we draw a triangle around each one like that. Whoops. And we have 3 formula triangles. And you can just do that just to finish them off. So what do all these things stand for? Well, we have opposite, which the side, which is opposite the angle, which is over here. We've got adjacent. Adjacent is just another word which means next to. Adjacent to. Adjacent is next. Adjacent to is next to. So that's this one here. And then the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side, which is always opposite the right angle. Okay, so there's the right angle. The hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. So we've been given the hypotenuse in this triangle here, in this right angle triangle, and we might have to work out the opposite or the adjacent. So now we know what the letters mean. So I'll highlight O blue. So there it is in that one, there it is in that one. You'll notice in the middle one, it doesn't have any O. The adjacent, on the top one, there's no adjacent, but in the other two, there is an adjacent. And then we've got the hypotenuse, H, which in our case is 5 centimeters. And there it is in the top one, and there it is in the middle one. We don't have in the bottom one. So each one has got one thing missing. Now, if I wanted you to find out this side here, opposite the angle, then you have the hypotenuse and you're being asked to work out the opposite. So the triangle, the formula triangle you want to use is the top one, because that has the hypotenuse and the opposite. So what does the S stand for? Well, the S stands for sine theta, or in this case, sine 30. The C in that one would stand for cos theta, and the T would stand for tan theta. Okay, so we can say S equals sine theta, C equals cos theta, and T equals tan theta. Okay, so we're using the top one because we don't need to know the adjacent, we just need to know the opposite and the hypotenuse. But we want to work out, so remember how to use formula triangles. Essentially, you cover up the thing that you're trying to work out, and then what's left behind, that's the thing, that's how to work it out. So opposite is equal to S times H, which is sine theta, times the hypotenuse, which is sine 30 times 5 centimeters. I happen to know that sine 30 is 0.5, so that means the answer would be 2.5 centimeters. But you don't need to know that just yet, I don't think. So if I type in sine 30, close the bracket, times 5, and click the SD button, 2.5. Don't forget the unit, 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so let me stop that video